All right. Hi, you guys. What's up? My name is Paige, if you don't already know me. And if you're watching that video, that means that you are on my sneak peek Instagram page, which means that you are interested in joining me on this awesome journey of coaching, which is really, really exciting to me because I love it, obviously. So this first video is just going to be a little bit about me, right? I think that for sure the most uncomfortable thing for me is like sharing about myself, especially about my life, because I put a lot of conscious effort into being a very positive person, and I would definitely consider myself a very positive person. And so I don't really like talking about negative things, but I did want to make this video because I think it's important that one of my main values I always portray to you guys is transparency, genuineness, honesty, all of that, because that's a big part of who I am as a person. And even though it can be very hard for us, it can be very easy for us to portray ourselves differently through social media. I don't want to do that. So I think it's important to share about a little bit about me, just so you guys can kind of see how I got to where I am, how I got to coaching, and that will give you a little insight as to why I love it so much. So, yes, I do have a drink. You will find me sipping it throughout this video. Don't judge me. It's cocktail hour. Like I said, we're being real, okay? Whew. Anyways, so I am a single mom to a beautiful toddler boy named Leo. If you do follow me on social media, I'm sure you know that because he takes up all of my feed on every social media platform because it's my whole life. Now, just to I'm going to give you a couple background details. Like I said, if I kind of come off a little awkward, it's hard for me to share about myself. But I do want to share some little snippets for you that I think are very, very relevant for you to have some insight as to how I got where I am. So, when I was pregnant with my son, I was in a very dangerous relationship. But I am from Michigan. That's where I live currently. When I was about 8 months pregnant, I moved to Indiana with my son's father because he was offered a really, really good job opportunity there. I'm not going to go into detail at all of how that played out because I don't think it's relevant. But long story short, after my son was born, when he was about 2 months old, we ended up moving back to Michigan. That was when I left his father. And we moved back to Michigan, you guys, with nothing but the clothes on our backs and just started over. I was a shell of a human being because of the relationship that I was in. And we literally started from ground zero, you guys. I completely rebuilt myself. We built a whole new life. We really did start over entirely. I guess I'll backtrack a little bit. So growing up, and again, I'm not going to go into detail on that either because I don't like talking about sad or negative things. But what is relevant, as far as my childhood, I grew up on giant bags of fun-sized candies, cans of Pepsi, and Marie Callender's TV dinners. I'm not even kidding you guys. I grew up with my grandma and I love her to death. I would never talk bad about her. But she would be very vocal about the fact that she hated vegetables and wouldn't touch a single one. So nutrition was not a part of my life, literally even in the slightest. I was very, very unhealthy physically. And I was active, luckily, that probably saved my life. I danced and did karate actually for about 10 years. But I also, once I kind of became a teenager and, raging hormones, puberty, all that, I got very, very sad. Very sad. again, won't go into detail, but it was not a good time in life. And there's a lot of things that contributed to that. But I honestly believe that one of the things was how unhealthy physically I was in my diet, and at that time, no activity, all of those things. Our physical health directly affects our mental health. And I don't think that people fully grasp that statement. They are interconnected, you guys. Like, so much so. Not just a little bit, so much so. It is so important to your mental and emotional health to take care of your body physically. So much, you guys. And that is part of the reason that I'm so passionate about this industry, and why I genuinely love fitness and nutrition so much, is because I feel like I want to help somebody that was in a similar situation to me. I want to help them and like help them on their journey to health physically, to give them a better chance emotionally, if that makes sense. Because like I said, there were many other circumstances that contributed to me going through a very hard time mentally in that stage of life. But I do believe that if I had been taking care of my body physically, that I would have had a way better chance of getting through the emotional problems I was going through without it exploding the way that it did. Because like I said, physical and mental health are so closely related. Anyways, rant over. So I would say when I was pregnant was when I really started to get into fitness and nutrition specifically. Nutrition's definitely my niche for sure. But obviously I think, it's kind of obvious why I got into it at that time. I had a little baby growing inside of me and really needed to take care of myself. But I don't think I know I didn't realize how much I was going to actually love it. I'm trying not to make this video too long, so I'll try to speed it up. But that's when I started getting into it. And then when my son was about 6 months old, we found out he was lactose intolerant. And they thought he might grow out of it when he turned a year old, but he didn't. And I ended up developing a lactose intolerance as well, probably just because I was consuming less. And that propelled my passion for nutrition so much, because dairy is used for toddlers and young children to get the calcium and the vitamin D that they need and other nutrients they need. Dairy is the thing that is primarily used for that. So I had to research and I had to get smart about how I was going to make sure my kid was getting everything he needed to develop properly without dairy in the equation at all. And I also had to get used to checking the nutrition label on everything. And even outside of him being lactose intolerant, one of my main values as a mother, and I discovered this when I was pregnant, even before I had my son, was going to be his nutrition and his health physically, because I know how closely that is related to his mental and emotional health. I understand how crucial it is. And so that's, like I said, when my passion for that propelled. And then I was introduced to coaching, and I've always loved helping people. Like, that has been in my soul my whole life since I can remember. In any context that I can possibly help people, I want to do it. And in addition to that, I've always been the type of person that if I find something in life that sets a fire in my soul, something that is amazing, something that is beneficial for others, whatever that may be, I get this burning desire to share it. Like, I physically can't keep it to myself. I just feel like it's my obligation when I find something important like that to share it with others so I can help others in that way. And especially because of what I went through with my lack of nutrition and lack of physical health, I want to hopefully be able to help prevent that for others. I want to be an advocate for how important it is to take care of your body, because the knowledge of the importance of taking care of your body physically is so limited in the world these days. And that's why health-related illnesses have literally become an epidemic. More people die of obesity in America than any other illness. That's insane. So obviously I am very, very passionate about sharing this. And coaching is a very, very special opportunity in my opinion, because I get to do that. I get to share this with people and help people in such a big way. And I get to get my voice out there and, like I said, be an advocate for this industry and the importance of it. Plus, with coaching being my career, it helps me stay accountable and continuously and always be focusing on my own journey with fitness and nutrition, which has taught me so much about my self-worth. It has given me this newfound confidence. Like, it's crazy. It really is crazy. And then obviously on top of that, I get to work from home. So I get to be with my kid. I don't have to go back to waitressing. I'm in cosmetology school, so I will pursue that. I'm about to graduate, but I can do it part-time, and actually get to be with my kid. And you guys, I never ever thought that would be my life. I literally had come to terms with the fact that in order to put food in my kid's mouth, I was gonna have to work myself to death every day for the rest of my life, for the most part. And now, that's not the case. So yeah, I'm gonna scream it from the freaking rooftops how awesome this is. And like I said, there's so many ways that coaching has impacted me that I didn't even expect. Like this insane increase in self-confidence. And I just believe in myself so much more and what I'm capable of. And I believe that I have amazing things to contribute to this world and that my voice matters. Maybe that sounds small to you guys. Maybe you already recognize that, but I never have. And because I have that mindset now, my son will see that in me and hopefully replicate that in his own life, in his own mind. And he will see also that you don't have to settle with a very fragile 9-to-5 job that makes you miserable. If you are passionate about something and it truly, truly means something to you, if you put the work in, you can be successful. Period. It does take a lot of hard work, but you can do it. And I want him to learn that, and he's only going to learn that if he sees it through me, which now he does. And that's so special. Okay, I had a feeling this was going to turn into way longer than I wanted it to, so I'm going to cut it off now. I'm so sorry that this is so long, but I do hope that that gave you a really good insight to who I am, where I came from, and why I am so passionate about what I do as a coach and about sharing that opportunity with others. So tune into the next videos, which will be much shorter, I promise, with details about what I do, and I'm not going to spoil it, but lots of other great stuff. So thanks for listening, you guys.